Hello, my YouTube friends. TeresaLouise here, and welcome to my mess. I got a mess, yes. I'm going to do binding today, and I just thought I'd come on for a little while and visit. And if I can teach anybody how to do binding, it's pretty easy. I'm happy to help. So I didn't schedule this, so I just came on. It's Friday, September 2nd, I believe. And let's see if we can find anybody on. Let's see if I can get my device working. There it is. Oh. Okay. Hi, everyone. There you are. I got it to work. How's everybody today? I'm doing well. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Melina. Hi, Vivian. Hello, Shelley. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Sandra. Yep, I'm doing okay. Hope you guys are doing well. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Marie. Hello, June. I can see and hear you wonderfully. Awesome. That's great. I put you over here because I want to do binding and I want you to be able to see it at a better angle than just front view. And so I thought this might be a little bit better. I look and sound great. Wow. Well, thank you. I feel pretty tired, actually. I don't know if that's the smoke in the air, kind of, smoky air kind of starts hurting your throat. Got a lot of smoke in the air out there. Oh no, Shelley says she's in quarantine. She's fine, but the hubby is sick, unfortunately. Yeah. The only thing worse than me being sick is the hubby being sick. Good angle, actually. Okay. Is that light up there too bright? Can you see that? Boy, you can see all my mess back there, can't you? Boy, what a mess. It's a mess. Hi, Kim. Well, I pray he gets well soon and that you don't catch it, because we don't want you to get it. Unfortunately, that happens, though, when you're in the same house with somebody who's sick. You're going to catch it. Lots of Lysol. Hi, Linda. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Marla. Hi, Marla. I got it okay, Cam. Thank you. It's a hard one to reply to. So I've been thinking about it. If you know what I mean. Yeah, you finally caught me live. Hi, Martha. How are you doing? The mess is called real life. That's for sure. I didn't think it was that messy until I looked at it in the camera. I was thinking about just calling you. Sometimes that's easier. Yep, Kim changed her screen name. Hi, Faith. Hi, Lori. Give those thumbs up. Okay, what are you guys working on today? Oh, no. I'm glad you brought that up, Linda. I haven't heard from Beth either. Come to think of it. And Lori, quilting in the country. Martha said, I'm doing well. Thank you. My craft room is a mess, a huge mess. Reorganizing, and it's been that way for a month. So you're in good company with me. Yeah, I honestly didn't think it was that messy until I looked in the camera. And I'm like, oh, might be a little messy. That's probably why I have you over here, because then you only see, you know, the two walls and they don't get too messy. Okay. Linda is making the Lone Star with diamonds. Awesome. Putting strips to make it look like stained glass. That would be cool. Kim is just staying quiet. Uh, yesterday, I was over on Kathleen's live off and on most almost all day. I had her playing in the background. And after she was done, I think she stayed on till 5, but I got off of there at 4 o'clock and I went and laid down and I slept till 6 o'clock. I couldn't believe it. And then I went to bed at 9 and I slept until 7 o'clock this morning. So I guess I needed the sleep. Shelly said, just watching videos today. I had a minor surgery on Monday. Broke a finger when I fell last Saturday. Oh no. Making meals is about all I can handle right now. And sometimes, boy, that's hard to do when you're hurting. Martha said every time I walk in, I look the other way so I don't get distracted. That's good. Kim says, celebrate the mess. You're doing something awesome. Okay, I'll try. Sherlock So says, I'm holding the chair down inside, then I go outside. Marla said, I'm now on the couch, just need a rest a while. Shelley said, bad news comes in 3, so she's done. Kathleen said, oh, wow, neither have I. I think she's talking about Beth. I know she had a class or something, but she was getting rather tired the last week as well. I'll reach out in a bit and check on her. Then she's just resting. I pray that she's just resting. Yeah. Oh, is she? I didn't know that. Courtney's coming on in 30 minutes, so we can ask her about Beth. Okay, so I'm going to get going on this. Let me bring you down a little bit more. I know most of you probably know how to do binding, but I'll show you how I do it. There's probably more than one ways. Here's my binding strips, and I cut mine at 2.5. You can, do what you like. I've done them at 2.25, 2.5, 3 inches, 2 3/4, and I kind of like 2.5, so I'm just going to stick with that. 2.5, basically on just about anything that I'm putting binding on. So I press my strips first. So I did that. And I'm just going to open it up here and lay it so that the pretty side is up. And then I'm going to take the other strip and place it so that the pretty side is down. And I'm going to put it on there like this. You guys can see that. I'm going to bring you forward a little bit. Hold on. You're moving. Oh. There we go. Okay. And then I go ahead and pin because I don't want it moving around while I'm, you know, moving it around. So I pin in the upper right hand corner and then just make sure this is adjusted right. And then I pin again in the lower left hand corner. So now it's like this. While it's down there, I take my ruler and whatever you want to use, pencil, pen, whatever. Depends on what kind of fabric I have, determines what I'm going to use. Then I'm going to draw a line from the upper left-hand corner, right here, to the lower right-hand corner, corner to corner. I usually start in the middle. That way it doesn't tug on my fabric. There we go. Okay. June says, I'm taking it easy. Reaction to the shot in the knee. Oh gosh, she has a terrible headache. Her face is on fire. Oh no. Oh gee whiz. Her sinuses are killing her. Oh June, I'm sorry. Prayers you get to feeling better. Okay. Hi, Amy. I'm still working on the placemats. You'll get them sometime this year. Okay, so now I'm going to sew from corner to corner, and I sew right on the right side of the line that I just drew. Okay, not right on the line, just a little bit right of it. Okay, and then before I cut that off, because you're cutting off the right hand side, I always double check it, make sure it's good enough, which I feel like that's good enough. Now I'll go ahead and cut that off, and I cut 1/4 of an inch away from that line that I just sewed. And you could do this with your rotary cutter if you want to, and your ruler, but I don't feel like I need to do that. Then I just finger press that seam open. And you can iron that too if you want to. I'm just going to press it back down. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. So I'm going to open that up. So the pretty side is facing up like that. Amy said she finished her binding on the Halloween ones last night. Awesome. I just got one done yesterday. Okay, line that back up again. So it's like that. Grab a pin. Pin the upper right hand corner. Make sure you're still lined up right. In the lower right hand corner, grab a ruler from the left upper hand corner to the lower right hand corner, and draw a line corner to corner. And like I said, I start in the middle and work my way down to the corners, because it sometimes when you start at the corner, it kind of pulls the fabric and can make a mess. So okay, now I'm just going to sew again. I'm going to start at the upper left hand corner and work my way down. And again, I'm just going to sew just to the right of my line, right on the line. Oops, some machine's coming undone here. There, that should be all right. Just right along the top of that line. Take my pins out. Double check it. Looks good, so I can cut that off. Okay, Amy. Amy's listening while she's driving home. So I'm just going to make sure there's 1/4 of an inch there away from my sewing line. And lay it down. Now, like I said, you can go ahead and use your iron on this if you want to. Just going to finger press that open. Everybody's just talking. I should be reading the comments, but it's hard to do when you're trying to sew. So I'm just reading them as they pop up. I can't catch all of them, but if you want to grab my attention, make sure and do the @ sign with my whole name, TeresaLouise, with a space. I quilt too, all one word. And it'll turn orange for me, and I'll be able to see it. Okay, so that's enough of that one. Now, I have this one done already. I sewed my binding to the back of my table runner. And I do the same thing with quilts. I sew it to the back, and then I flip the binding over and I sew the binding on the front. Okay? I don't hand bind. You can, if you're going to hand bind, then you want to do just the opposite. You want to sew your binding to the front, flip it over to the back, and then do your hand binding on the back. But if you're going to use the sewing machine, you want to sew it on the back and then flip it over so that it's on the front, and then stitch it down with your sewing machine. Okay? Kim said, I'm going to have a friend set my machine back up for me so you can sew again. I definitely can. Or your daughter, one of the kids. Okay, so I'll be sewing some other ones so you'll see how I do it, but I wanted to show you this. So my binding is, like I said, 2.5. And the other thing I did was I do my start and stop on the bottom of my project, not on the top of the project. That's just me. Also, I start about, depending on how much room I have, I like to have as much room between the two pieces as much as possible. So that's why I did it on the long side. So, 2 to 3 inches start and stop on each side so that you have plenty of room in between to join these two. Now, some people join them straight edge. I don't do that. I'm going to angle this, and that's why I wanted to show you how I angle and join my two pieces. So I'm going to cut that down a little bit more. I'll cut 2.5 inches off. That should be enough. That way I'll have a 2.5 inch square. All right, and then I don't need this one that long either. Actually, I need to be more in the middle, so let's cut it off again. Cut another 2.5 inches off. You need enough room on both sides. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so then this one, I'm going to pull it forward, lay the other one from the other side, from the right side, on top of it, like that. I'm going to slide my ruler underneath it until I get to 1/4 inch. So then this one that I pulled over from the right is going to be at the end of my ruler. Okay, and then the one underneath is way over here. So I'm going to draw a line. So I'll move this because I know where my 2.5 inches is right there. So I'm going to draw a line on there. Okay, Kim, go get some rest. Love ya. Take care of yourself. Okay, let me show you again. So on the right hand side, I cut it off right about there. Give yourself plenty of room. Then you pull your left hand side over that. No, sorry. Lay your left hand side down and bring your right hand side back over it. Okay. Then I'm going to slide my 2.5 inch ruler because my binding is 2.5. So if my binding was 3 inches, I would need to measure 3 inches. That's the trick. If your binding's 2 inches, then you measure 2 inches. Okay? So because my binding is 2.5, that's where I'm going to measure. Hold my ruler down right there. Make a line. Hope this makes sense. So there's my line. Okay, now I'm going to cut right on the line. You can use your rotary cutter if you want. Okay, so now I have these two pieces. This is where a lot of people have a hard time. I'm going to cut some of this strings off. So the first thing I do to remember is I always have my project top like this away from me, and then the rest of the project towards me. Okay, So if this was a regular quilt, I'd have this top piece up here, this top edge, and then the rest of the quilt would be, hanging down in my lap. So that's the first thing I always do. I always just make sure, so I'm not going to turn this around and do it, what I need to do to join these, because that confuses me. I'm used to doing it this way. So I think that's one of the tricks to always doing this, getting this to work right, is to do it the same every time. So I'm going to take the one side on the left hand, okay, so I'm going to take the one on the left hand side, and I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to turn it clockwise. So the pretty side of the fabric is up. I'm going to lay it down on my table, is up. And then I take the, hi Nita, the right hand side piece, and I'm going to turn it towards me, so counterclockwise, and open it up. And then I'm going to lay it on top. So you got to pull your project. I'm going to lay it on top just like I did when I was putting the binding together. And I actually use a little more pins when I do this. Like I pin like all four corners, just to make sure that it's going to stay in place. And then I'll go ahead and pin that lower left-hand corner. Okay, this now it's just like you are doing your regular binding, right? Looks just like the binding that I just did. So don't get confused and sew your corner to corner wrong. You're going to start with the upper left-hand corner. Okay, so here's my left side, right side, lower right, lower left. Okay, I'm going to start at the upper left and go down to the lower right. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line corner to corner. And your pins are going to be in your way, but that's why I'm kind of holding my ruler up, is because my pins don't allow me to lay it flat. But I need the pins, so. Okay, so now you're going to sew this line, starting at the upper left down to the lower right. Okay. So, I leave all those pins in there because this is a small project, and you don't have a whole bunch of room there. And it's just easier to keep it all together if you have a few more pins. If you're ever going to use pins, this is the time to do it. Okay, now I'm just going to pull it up here. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to sew right on the top of that line that I wrote. I'm on the right hand side of that line. And just sewing right along the top of it. Just seems to come out a little straighter if you do that. I mean, they line up, the two bindings line up better. Okay, so now I can take all my pins out. Oh, okay, great, Nita. Okay, so again, I'm going to check this and make make sure it's right before I cut that off, because I could fix it right now if I need to. So there it is. Yay, I'm so glad I did it right on the camera. Yay. Okay, now I can go ahead and cut those off. Boy, wouldn't have that been funny if I sewed them wrong on camera. Good thing I practiced before you guys came on. Okay, 1/4 inch away. And again, I want to I'm going to finger press that seam open. Just gives you less bulk in there. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of squish that back down. And now it's nice and tight, really good. They were lined up well enough. That's for sure. Oh, I make plenty of mistakes, Kathleen, but thank you. Nita said, I don't think I have ever heard someone use clockwise and counterclockwise to describe the way you turn the fabric. I love that. Oh, I love it. Good. Shelley said, I use pins when I do that too. Yeah, Marie said, I totally agree. Then you get it right every time. Okay. So now I can just go ahead and finish sewing that. When I first learned how to do that was back when I first started learning how to sew, and Jenny Doan is the one that I watched to learn how to make quilts. And as you guys may know, she is left-handed, and boy, and I'm right-handed. So it makes it a little difficult, and I've always binding this way because that's the way Jenny does it. I never sewed it on, sewed it together straight seam. But I had to watch Jenny's video over and over and over again to get that down, because like I said, she's left-handed, and so it looks different. So that's why, one of the reasons why I always make sure my project is always turned the same way. You know, if you don't like to have your project down in your lap, then turn it this way, but you're going to have, you know, these are going to be a little bit different, so you'll have to figure that out. But like I said, I always like to have mine on top. That. Okay. That is all sewn together. Now usually what I'll do, especially with a project like this, is I'll go ahead and press that seam, or press that binding, so it lays down nice and flat all along there. So let me turn on my iron, and I'll read comments. Hi, Joyce. Martha said, I was working on my Be Happy quilt, and I sewed the tree section upside down. Thank you, God. Quilting is an easy fix. That's for sure. Are you in your home now, Nita? Hi, Mary Jane. Oh, June said that is how she learned to do her binding, because she's left-handed. So maybe I guess I do it left-handed. That could be because I learned from Jenny. But I think it's pretty easy once you know, practice it a few times. And doing these placemats are a great way to practice doing binding. That is for sure. Okay, let me press this real quick. And then we'll do another one. Just so we get in some extra practice. And I can show again for those people who are just tuning in. Okay. So that's all pressed. All right, let's go again. So here's another one. And I'm going to start on the bottom. So I'll flip it over. So now it's the top. It was the bottom, but now it's the top. Okay, so I know last time I cut it off right about there, so I'm just going to start it right about there, so I don't waste my fabric. Whoop. Raw edges to raw edges, Teresa. Okay, so I'm going to start about 2 inches back. So I'll just put a clip there so I know where I'm starting. And I'm going to go around. That's how lots of people do it, left or right-handed. Cool. I won the spring kit from FWFS per Kathleen's Quilts and Crafts. Cool. I totally missed up. Ours was the 7/8. That got me. Oh, gee whiz. Yes. I wish they wouldn't use those. Oh, it took me a minute to figure out your fabric. The gourd looked like a hairdryer to me. Oh, that's funny. It's for, Thanksgiving. A gourd. Little gourds over here. And then this one is pumpkins and corn and maybe another gourd or something. I'm not sure what that is. Really pretty. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to get to sewing. Fort Worth Fabric Studio. You won the spring kit. That's cool, Kathleen. Wow, what a great win. Okay, so I go forward a little bit when I start, and then I back up. That's the one time that I do that. And then I sew until I get about 1/4 inch away from the edge. And I just back up a couple of stitches. Okay, now I wanted to show you this. Now I'm getting ready to turn a corner. It's getting warm up here. Whew. Okay, so my project is facing me like this, and I want to turn this corner. So what I'm going to do is a 45. So I kind of hold my finger up here, turn a 45. Make sure that's nice and straight 45. And it's your raw edges are going to the lower right hand corner, and you want to make sure that your binding comes out straight. So this should all be straight right here. Be straight, okay? This is all open seam. This is a closed, this is the fold. And here's my 45, okay? You guys see that? Now I'm going to hold that down, and I'm going to flip this over until this fold that I'm making right now is lined up with the lower right hand corner here. So it's lined up straight. Then I'm going to make sure it's straight and it's following straight along here. Okay, my 45 is underneath there now. You want to keep that held down so that it doesn't get moved around. And I usually do is use a binding clip right up there on that corner there so it holds it. And then I usually put another binding clip, and you can use pins if you want to. And I just put one there. Well, thank you, June. She said she likes the fabric for placemats. Martha said, it's so pretty. Martha also said she's doing the fall mystery quilt with Fort Worth Fabric Studio also. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to start about a 1/4 inch down and in from that corner. And I take a couple of stitches, then I go back and go forward again. Now you can take those clips off. Here we go. So to the next corner. Okay, getting ready to sneak up on this corner. So I only want to be about a 1/4 inch away. You can mark that if you want to, but it doesn't take you long to learn what a 1/4 inch looks like. Right? Hi, Kay. Happy to see you. End of the week. Yay. And you have a 3-day weekend, don't you? I did read your comment, Kathleen, just not out loud. Okay, so once again, let's see if I can get you just a little bit closer. I'm going to make a 45. So this is a 45. My folded part of the fabric is on top. And I just kind of press that, hold it down. She sure does. That was K. Yay for a 3-day weekend. Okay, so now hold it nice and tight. Scoot your fingers up. Let's see if I can see it better on the blue. Scoot your fingers up. hold it there, flip that over there, okay, so now I got it folded there. There's the fold of the fabric. I'm just going to pin that corner so it holds it there. So here's the 45 is under this piece of fabric. I know it's probably kind of hard to tell now because it's so dark, but I clip right where that fold is so it holds it. But you could pin if you wanted to. Oh, that's good, Kathleen. She said, I'm not bothered by me not reading it out, TeresaLouise. Not at all. If it's short and sweet, I'll read it out. But when it's long, unless I think everybody needs to know about it, then I'll read it out. Okay. About a quarter of an inch away from the top and the sides. Here we go. You want to make sure you're catching that 45 on the inside with your seam. Otherwise, won't lay right when you flip all this over. Yeah, it's pretty smoky here today. We got fires all over. Just look up Idaho fires. I think the closest one to us is called the Williams Creek Fire. But I don't think they've updated it really well yet. But the wind changed and now it's blowing this way, and so now we have the smoke. We've had the fire for the last 3 or 4 days, but the wind has been blowing a different direction, so we didn't get any of the smoke. Well, that changed last night. Now we're in the smoke. Uh-oh, Amy. Amy's back in the chat until she falls asleep. She's 2 hours past her nap time. Okay, here we go again. 2 more corners to go. Making my fold. And pressing that down. I'm going to just hold it real tight. Flip that over. Hold that down. Get my clips. I get a better 45 when I start a quarter of an inch away from the top and side. So you could test that. Start right at the end with your sewing. Let me pin this first or clip it. You can test it yourself and see how you like it, but I seem to get a better fold once I sewed all this down and I flip everything over. I get a better looking 45 if I start a quarter of an inch down from the top and a quarter of an inch away from the side. I know I've seen some people that start right here and just go straight down, but I don't know. I think I get a better fold the other way. Here's my, I don't know if you can going to be able to see it or not. But once I fold that over, yeah, you can't see it very good. I just get a sharper looking fold there, 45 fold. And I just think it looks better. Kelly said she agrees. She starts a 1/4 of an inch down too. Ooh, oh lordy, Kathleen, Weed, California is being evacuated. Oh boy. America is on fire. Okay, Linda. Amy also starts a 1/4 of an inch down as well. Yeah, when you're first putting your binding down, if you go all the way through, that doesn't seem to matter so much. Marla said it does better for her. Joyce says she starts right at the edge. Shelley said it's smoky here, fires from Oregon. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of fires over by Salmon, Shelley, and McCall. Okay. Marla got a quilt or a kit on Wednesday. Awesome. She has the fabric pressed, but not cut yet. Yeah, the smoke is awful here. Really bad today. Trying to keep the doors closed. Okay. So it stays out of the house, but my air conditioning area fell apart, so seeping through the door there. I should have fixed that before I went live so I can have it on. Okay, here we go. We are getting smoke from south of Bend. Oh, okay. Oh, not good. Sure I'm in the right spot there. And a 1/4 of an inch all the way down. I'm just going to slow down here now. There we go. We're doing it again. Hi, Patty. One more corner. Do my 45 again. And you know, it helps to do your, when you do your 45, that you make sure this line stays straight, right? Hold that down, fold that over. Now your 45 is hidden. Pin it or clip it so it stays in place for you. Okay, one more. How are you doing, Patty? Bring you guys over here so I can see the phone. Okay, here we go. Oops, back up there. Take my clips off. Okay, now, oh, I'm glad I looked. So I'm just going to go about that far. Because this is where I got to join them again. So here we go. Patty says, I'm doing really good. The smoke is very smoky. When we get fires here in eastern Washington, they are wildfires as we are desert. But we get smoke from Oregon, California, Idaho, Washington, yeah, and BC, depending on which way the wind's blowing. Okay, I'm going to lay that, I'm going to move this one on from the right, take my left one, slide it over and just kind of fold it out of my way. And I'm going to bring this one back over the top, my right hand side. Okay. And there's the edge of my right hand piece. I'm going to slide this 2.5 inch ruler under there and line it up with the edge of that top piece. Okay. So now I know where my 2.5 inches are on the bottom piece, so I can move that out of the way. Draw my line. Now if you're doing 3-inch binding, you'll want to do this 3 inches. If you're doing 2-inch binding, then you make a 2-inch mark. Okay, now I have my line there. I can go ahead and cut that off right on the line. Okay, now there they are both. So this should be, this one should be 2.5 inches longer. You know, go over this piece by 2.5 inches. Okay, so here we go. Ready? So like I said at the beginning, now I'm going to say it again in case there's new people here. I'm going to join these so that they are at a 45. So what I do is I take the left hand piece and I open that up and I'm going to turn it clockwise and lay it flat so the pretty side is up. Okay? So I just picked it up, unfold, take my fold out, hold it in my hand like this, turn it clockwise, and lay it down there. Okay. Now this other piece I'm going to take and open it up. There it is. And I'm going to turn it counterclockwise, turn it towards me so the pretty side of the fabric is going to go down on top of the other one, and this is going to be just like how we did put the binding together. Okay, I'm going to make sure that is corner to corner there. Okay, so you line them up just like that. So if you pressed your binding, you're going to have a X or a plus sign where your folds are. Okay, so I'm going to pin this corner. Pin the left side corner. Make sure it's all lined up still. Lower right. It likes to really get, you know, uneven, and it just, if you don't pin it, especially when you don't have very much room. So I just pin all the way around. Okay, so there I go. I have it all pinned. Like that. Now I'm going to draw my line, and I'm going to do it on my upper left-hand corner, and it's going to go down to my lower right-hand corner. So you're doing corner to corner. And like I said, I start in the middle with my line so it doesn't rip my corners. There's my line. Okay, so there we go. Just like when you're putting binding together, that's on a 45. So you're going to start up here in the upper left-hand corner, go down to the lower right-hand corner. Kelly said, I do my binding end that way too. Did Jenny Doan teach you also? Okay, I gotta pull my thread out. Okay, here we go. And I'm just going to start stitching right on the top of that line, on the right hand side of that line. I just find I get a better result if I'm just right on top of the line that I just drew. And now I'm going to take all those pins out. Now before I cut anything, I'm going to make sure it's correct. Yay, I did another one right. Okay, so looks like it's going to be fine. It's going to lay flat. So now I can go ahead and cut that piece out. Make sure you cut on the correct side. Cut on the right side of that line. 1 inch away. Okay, now I'm just going to finger press that seam open. Then I'm going to just finger press it down. Okay. All right, let me check the comments. Kelly said, I hope to get back to the medallion quilt next week, but I've been working more, which is also good. Oh, Kathleen, tell him I said I'm sorry. She said, my dad's near Twin Falls. He calls to say thank you for the heat and bad air, smoke. Okay, here we go. Oh, looks like my... Oh, I thought my camera stopped. I'm going to sew this, but I was just sitting there reading the comments, so. It wasn't my internet, it was me. Line that back up. There we go. Finish sewing that down. And then I'm going to just press those out. I don't really muck with the corners, but I just take the iron and press those out so it's nice and flat. Just works better for me when I'm turning that around to the other side. I even do that on quilts. I press it with the iron. This one's ready to sew. Yay! I might get these done today, Amy. Maybe. Oh, I'll show you what I did with the leftover two I had. Also, I made a... oh, heck. What did I make? I forgot the word. I hate it when that happens. Table runner. Thank you. A short table runner. It's actually, I'm going to put it on my counter downstairs. I have like a bar counter down there in the kitchen. I thought that would be a really cute place. Let me get it. I'll show you. So I just sewed two of them together. I put a piece of that other fabric in between the two, and then this dark purple on the outside and all the way around, which this is going to be plenty big enough for my area. So this one I'm going to keep, and the other four are going to Amy for her you can look in the Facebook group and find out some information about this on the table runners, or not table runners, placemats. And yeah. Yeah, Meals on Wheels. Thank you, Amy. I'll tell you, sometimes I'm brain dead. Can't remember anything. Yeah, so they're going to go to Amy's area, Meals on Wheels. If you'd like more information about that, Amy has a couple of posts in the Facebook group. Now what I like to do is go around and cut off any long strings. I hate messing with those. Now some people trim their corners off. I don't. I've done it both ways, and it doesn't seem to make any bit of difference. I actually think it helps get a better corner leaving it on there. But that's just me. Everybody's different. I do like getting the strings off, though. Okay. I just hold on to that corner. Yeah, I have brain fog, and the tireder I get, the harder time I have talking and remembering words. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I used orange thread to quilt this. It looks really cool. And I just did a leaf, leaves motif on it. But I think it turned out really cool. You can lightly see the orange fabric. Okay. Now, when I'm pulling this binding and folding it over, I can see my thread, my 1/4 inch thread line from when I sewed it on the back side. And I'm just going to put my fold just right above, barely right above that line. And then I put a clip down. Okay. And I'm just going to do that, get me started. I used to put clips all the way around, but I've done so many now that I don't need to do that. But you can do it. Put clips all the way around. You can also press that if you want to. That might help. And make sure your corner out here is nice and flat. And you're going to have another thing that looks like a 45 right here on the piece that's going this way. So you running it off straight, it creates a 45 right here angle. And I'm just going to put another clip, this one, right on that. Help hold it down for a minute. And then I'm going to start sewing that right along the edge, right on the edge. There's probably going to be like, I don't know, 2 threads away from the edge. Maybe 3. Thanks, Patty. She said, very nice stitching. Hi, Stephanie. Amy said, I agree with you about the corners. They seem sharper when you leave them. I agree. How you doing, Stephanie? Yeah, I really like the orange too, Amy. Perfect for fall. I'm glad to know that about the corners. I automatically cut them because of making bags. Yeah, I do too normally when I'm making bags, because you have so much fabric in there that you pretty much have to cut the corners out. But on something like this in a quilt, I don't think it's necessary. Speaking of eyeglasses, I broke my frames. This is broken. And I super glued it, and that worked for a little while. And then I super glued it and I put duct tape on it. So now it's just the super glue part broke, but the duct tape is holding it on there. Yay, duct tape. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So that, let's see, what time is it? Oh, almost 3 o'clock. Okay, well, I'm going to keep doing this, but I got to go to the post office, in the grocery store, Yeah, got to go to the eye doctor. I mean, the glasses still work. They're okay. I'm gonna pull you up here. It's kind of bright. Oops, sorry about that. Sorry. Jiggling you around. Oh, maybe I need to stand up. Okay. I'm going to get ready to get off here, you guys. It's getting warm up here. It's supposed to be like 94 or something like that today. Boy, my hair's a mess too. I need a haircut. Time for a haircut. Oh. Yeah, I need to go stretch. Go use the little girl's room and all that. I got one more to get the binding on the back, and then I can zip through these and do the binding on the top. Maybe I'll get these in the mail tomorrow. I finally found a box to put Donna's pantos, the things that they're paper that you put on the back of your long arm. They have a design on them. I don't use them. So anyway, I'm going to send them all to Donna. But some of them were pretty long, and you know, I didn't want to put them in a bag because I didn't want them to get smashed. They're all rolled up. So I finally found a box, and the box is a computer box that my husband's computer came in, and it's just right. It's like a box for a laptop. So it looks like it's going to be just right. And so she's probably going to think when she gets the box, she'll probably go, did I order a computer? Why is Teresa sending me a computer? Hi, Mona. I think that will be funny. And now I'll know if she watches my videos. If she, learns of this before she gets it. Panto. Yes. That's it. I knew somebody would know. Hi, Irish lady. How's it going? You were sitting in the background and enjoying your dinner. My husband made me beef tips with mashed potatoes. Ooh, and she had a glass of huckleberry lemonade. Yummy, yum. I wish my husband would cook. But he used to like barbecue. And he still does barbecue steak now and then. So, Mona said, my daughter made me a chicken bowl. That sounds good. I'm thinking about having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But that would be my lunch or snack. Not a whole sandwich, a half a sandwich. If I eat a whole sandwich, I won't be able to eat dinner. I've been buying those barbecued pork, like you get at the Chinese restaurants, the barbecue pork. But I eat them in big chunks. Been buying those, and then I cut them up. Cut a few off, a couple of pieces of cheese, one or two crackers. That's my lunch. You like my quilting in orange? Thank you, June. Shelley said, mine will grill. Men will cook when danger is involved. That's right. Danger of either burning yourself or starting the house on fire. Yeah, he'll help when it's the barbecuer is involved, for sure. My favorite thing is to make like shish kebabs, with mushrooms and peppers and onions and zucchini, and sometimes fish, or not fish, chicken or steak, sliced up really thin and put on the shish kebab, you know. That's one of my favorite things. And to have, and then like make some fried rice on the side. Yeah. Hi, Dorlyn. How are you doing? Eating lunch at Chili's? Oh, lucky you. That's the one thing I miss about being closer to a bigger town is going out for lunch or dinner, you know, more than just at a diner. That's basically all we have around here is diners. So you get your basic food like hamburgers and baskets, you know, that have chicken and fries or shrimp and fries or fish and fries. Yeah, lucky you. You had to put your daughter's new bed together? Oh, that's fun. Well, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this video helps somebody out there that's trying to get the binding down. I know we have a lot of new quilters that are joining, and so I just wanted to put this out there while I was doing binding. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. And if I don't see you before, I'll see you on Sunday. And yeah, at 2 o'clock this Sunday. Okay. Love you guys. See you soon.